Alright, hello everyone and welcome to my stream. This is my very first time doing a stream. I did a bunch of recent tests for testing out the setup and seeing how everything looked and sounded, and also with a little bit of gameplay to get the full package. And it looks good, so now I figure might as well start. So let's switch to the gaming mode and we'll get right to it. Today we're going to be doing some Elden Ring. I'm going to start the DLC. So I'm going to try and do a bit of a talk aloud approach to streaming. I definitely think people enjoy hearing the commentary, and I'll try not to do too much like up front or pause for too long of a time to discuss something. I'll try and like interleave my thoughts with gameplay, so there's a nice mix and back and forth of seeing the action and then hearing my analysis. But in moments like this where game is loading up, might as well take advantage of that opportunity and provide some feedback. So for Elden Ring, I've played the base game a good amount. I played all the way through the solo campaign with all the optional dungeons and bosses, and spent some time doing co-op with like random people online, just like making myself available for summoning. Let me turn down the game audio. There we go. And definitely I'm excited for the DLC. One of the questions I have is like, so I played through twice. I created a second character and played through again. I think both characters have a fairly complete set of inventory items. But one of the challenges I think with the DLC is that I have to access it through Mohg's palace. And in one of my characters, I did New Game Plus and did not get to Mohg in that one. I kind of would prefer to use that character, but I don't really want to like spend the time to get over there. And ooh, look at that! There's someone standing there. Ah, I'm already excited. My controller is drifting a little. Okay, it's not happening consistently, so we're just going to go with it. So before I go and talk to this character, I'll give you a sense of my guy. I might adjust based on what I see in the DLC, but right now I think I moved to a strength build using the rebirth mechanism to adjust my stats, just to like try something different. I think most of this playthrough was a dexterity build. Alright, and I want to have Marika's hammer equipped, mostly because it doesn't block my field of vision as much. Sweet.
Were you guided here by kindly Miquella?
Kind of.
I am Leda. And like you, I was guided by faith along his honorable path. Touch the withered arm, and you too will be transported to the realm of shadow where Miquella the Kind now dwells.
Miquella the Kind.
So there already. Like us, they have heard kindly Miquella's call. If you can find them, they are certain to lend you aid.
Okay, very interesting. I think Miquella the Kind, this was the first time I've heard that adjective, that description used for Miquella. So you get the sense immediately that this character, Leda, and her compatriots are supporters of Miquella. and her like armor kind of looks like a like paladin type armor, like the white cloak with gold inlay. Gives you a bit of like a golden order, but I think Mikkela's not going to be a supporter of the golden order. He's probably trying to start his own thing, and they're loyal supporters of the new dynasty, something of that nature. But that's a really cool helmet and armor set in general.
Come now, touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
Cool, we may meet again. And your compatriots are there?
I will not be far behind.
Okay, that's exhausted her dialogue. Whew. Oh, baby. Head to the realm of shadow. This is super exciting. Okay. We are in the realm of shadow. Oh, we got an empty map. That's more exciting than like anything else. So I can also switch to the Lands Between map. So there's probably no relationship between the two. This is a totally independent world. Which works for Dark Souls. Dark Souls, like from the start, and just for context, Elden Ring was my first Dark Souls game, but I have since gone back and played Dark Souls 1, and was surprised to find how much of like the environment and like general approach to the lore was there from the beginning. Also gameplay-wise, a lot of the gameplay stuff is there from the beginning. And this a concept of there being multiple worlds in the in-game universe was there from the beginning, and they use it in a number of ways. One of which is to kind of explain or have a lore-related rationale for characters like dying and coming back. So, in Elden Ring, you're summoned to the Lands Between. So your character, the Tarnished, starts outside of the Lands Between, and you're summoned to the Lands Between, and you learn a lot about the lore there. And I'll get into that further on. So now we've gone to a different place that Mikkela apparently like is at. Well, I guess Mikkela's dead in that cocoon. Who knows? Anyway, good times. So this is a map piece. That's from my experience playing Elden Ring. So we know we want to get that. So let's keep a beacon on there so we can head towards that. Oh, this is so exciting. It's been a long time since I've been like playing Elden Ring and not had like total awareness of what was around me. The brightness of my TV could be improved a little bit because some of the darker corners I can't see as well, so I'm going to pop on a little light. Visions of Bliss. Classic. Try Finger's butthole. Oh yeah, now we got that expansive view, and the music's starting up. That's what we want. Interesting. Like ghostly, like gravestones here. Beautiful indeed. I don't want to disparage. I want to applaud it. There's my beacon. So yeah, some of this imagery I've seen from the trailers and DLC like art. So I've had like a little bit of time to think about it. I've tried to avoid like spoiler material or too much like analysis, just to give myself like a clean playthrough. Though I do like engaging with the community. It's nice to get a little bit of exposure to the world, like by yourself, before kind of like having your mind adjusted by community thoughts. Oh, look at that. And there's like a golem with like fire. I think another trailer enemy. So he's like a field boss. That's cool as shit. Waterfall in the distance. Layered approach to the map, to the terrain, which serves as like giving you a path of progression. Oh, I have torrent. I actually like did that by accident, but good to know. I'm gonna start off without torrent, just because like I want to like walk around. Gravesite Plain. Yeah, so more of these ghostly gravestones and some other like imagery. So this symbol, I think I've seen it too elsewhere. Like the 3/4 circle, like the horseshoe. It's not quite horseshoe though, because it's not like oval shaped. It's more of like just like a 3/4 circle with some drapery hanging off the edges, maybe? There's something hanging off the edges. And then like a stick in the middle, a sword maybe. Might be Miquella symbol or a symbol of the dynasty. We shall see. But I know I've seen it in like the Grace, in some like screenshots. All right, new materials. Rata fruit. Now, when I opened up the game earlier to test, with the update for the DLC, I noticed that they have a categorization of like newly acquired material in the inventory, or like some way of highlighting them so that you can find them more easily, which is nice. Oh, I'm in the crafting menu. That's why I'm not seeing it. But as I'm scanning through, I'm not actually seeing a section of my inventory dedicated to new items. That's okay. Let's head to the crafting material. Rata fruit is the thing we got. So Roa is from, I'll refer to it as Lands Between. Sorry for the extra noise there. That was my phone. I forgot to mute it. Rata fruit. Material used for crafting. Item easily found everywhere in the Realm of Shadow. Similar to Roa fruit. Berry-like fruit that grows into spirit grave grass. Material used for crafting items. Easily found everywhere in the Realm of Shadow, though its bitter taste makes it unsuitable for consumption by humans. Cool. They normally say... Sometimes they say what it's used for in crafting. I guess not here. But that's no biggie. Alright, I don't think I have the ability to craft anything with it. Hey, I can make myself summonable. I'm gonna do it. Oh, okay, that... Oh, okay, so that includes the Lands Between. So, because I was playing with being summoned, I got a sense for what happens is they determine if you're in like a multiplayer zone and you have at least one summoning effigy active before you're allowed to use your summoning effigy thing. And since this is an entirely separate world, I might have expected that, like, until I activate a summoning effigy here, it'd be like an independent multiplayer place, and so I couldn't make myself available for summoning. But that's not the case. Like, the nearby only is grayed out, but I can be summoned in the lands between while I am here in the Shadow Realm. Wait, that's not the name of this place. What's the name of this place? I just forget already. Shadow something. Now I can see why, like, a lot of streamers, Realm of Shadow. Okay, I should call it that because Shadow Realm is like a, it's not like a, Shadow Realm is from Doctor Strange, right? So let's not try and confuse two similar sounding names. The geeks will be all over me. Okay. So they made the right choice because it's nice to be able to be summoned all over the map regardless of where you are. I won't sign up for that just yet. Lost Grace discovered. You can see some of the... So before I rest... So that, like, golden... light is reminiscent of the Elden Ring. Like, Marika was hung up with it. So might be something related to, like, a rune arc, or like one of the runes of the Elden Ring was used to try and create this tree, or maybe the Elden Ring itself in a time past, like the Elden Beast came here much like it came to the lands between. We'll find out. I'm just guessing stuff. Alright, so same leveling screen. Flasks. Same setup. Shadow Realm Blessing. We'll take a look at what that is. Alright, everything else is probably about the same. I'm going to guess for now. Okay, so you got some things. These are some things that are new to the DLC. Scattertree Blessing and Revered Spirit Ash Blessing. Okay. Consume Scattertree fragments to bolster your Scattertree Blessing. The Scattertree Blessing bolsters the recipient's abilities to deal and negate damage, but has no influence outside the Realm of Shadow. Sure, confine things to the DLC. That's fine. Now, some things I expect to cross, like equipment and Ashes of War, all that stuff. But having certain things just for the DLC is totally fine. So, ability to deal and negate damage. That's an interesting thing. We'll see what that is. I don't have any, but I just like trying and getting the message. Alright, so Revered Spirit Ash. The Revered Spirit Ash Blessing bolsters both Summoned Spirits and Spectral Steed's ability to deal and negate damage. Okay. I like hearing Spectral Steed's ability to deal and negate damage. Can Torrent now fight? Sweet. Okay. Gravesite Plain. Sweet. I should really turn down the sound on my phone. mistake. Okay, part of my prep. Needs to be to turn that off so that notifications don't disrupt us. That looks like an enemy there on top of that ruin. Maybe not. Could be sculpture. Alright, we'll head towards the map fragment before I do too much exploring. Obviously I could be running and using torrent, but this is like the first time I'm here. I kind of want to savor the immersion in the world and like take time to like look around. Like get these views of those peaks up there. Like that peak is really cool looking, and the way the jagged rocks go upwards towards the peak. And there's a moon up there. I should keep an eye for any other celestial objects, because the moon could be a connecting point between the worlds. Like, is this the same moon that's like, you know, Renala and Rani are all about? And might there be some lore related to like a broken rune? Let's check out that. So might there be some lore related to like outer gods for the moon that are active here? Not crafting material, tools. Broken rune down here. Gave 500 runes. Very nice. Golden traces of the grace. So they still call it grace, and golden is used again. So who fell in the realm of shadow. Interesting. So this this gives you, like, the language gives you a sense of like the decay. So like there's a golden basis for this world, but it's decayed. So this might be like, yeah, like an attempt with on behalf of or with cooperation by the Golden Order. What's the name of the outer god for the Golden Order? I kind of forget that detail. Greater Will, that's it. So this might be like still following the Greater Will and attempting to create a world with the Greater Will's influence, and something went wrong and it like faded to shadow, and Mikola was trying to do that, and like now we're kind of coming to the world. It'd be interesting if maybe like Mikola was like, ooh, wow, some depths down there. That's awesome. That looks super cool. Oh yeah. And there's like a blue flower island over there, and and a red one. Or like moss colored rocks or something, covered rocks. That's really cool. Seems familiar, you say? Oh, hey. That guy. So there's more than one instance of the fire golem. Rabbit? Squirrel? Alright, that kind of spooked me. It spooked me. But no enemy. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Why is it always sound? I'm not even sure, like, what could have triggered that. Maybe there was that thing that I thought was an enemy and could have been a statue on top, and if you get, like, within proximity, they make a noise and then, like, leave. It's possible. Alright, so you're a different type of ram than in the lands between. Like, your horns are bigger than any of the ones I remember running around there. Alright, white flesh mushroom. Let's check you out. Crafted materials. White flesh mushroom. Sullen lands. Yeah, another descriptor that's like, you know, faded. Pot innards. Cool. Still no enemies yet. Alright, let's head towards the map fragment. There's some enemies. Clear cut. Clear as day. Oh, I am excited. And a bloodstain. Beautiful. Alright, what did you do, bloodstain? Throwing rock at me? Alright, come on, buddy. Oh no, I feel like I'm probably overpowered. Or, not overpowered. Overleveled. I don't really want to be overleveled, because I'd like, you know, like the challenge. But we'll keep that in mind. Maybe like, I mean, like one-shotting an enemy like seems like too much, even if they're supposed to be just a common enemy type. So I might have to adjust that before I go too far. My other character is in New Game Plus, which probably scales everything, including the DLC. Alright, red flesh mushroom. More pot innards. Alright, so let's get it. You're kind of shadowy in nature. Okay, if you hit me, you do get some decent damage. They're not totally weak. You do a grab. You do that kind of like lunge forward, quick attack. That's pretty cool. You got a weapon. Oh, nice. I like how the ruins are like covered in like drapes. Alright, so there's a ghostly figure. Gonna tell us something. Yay! Very nice. Okay, so we're gonna get a bunch more maps. So my cursor only goes to this edge, which was different from Elden Ring, where if you zoomed out, maybe not. Anyway, there was stuff we saw here, so there's got to be more. Like this area is partially cut off, so there's another map fragment. Maybe it's just the little tip down here. Maybe it doesn't extend beyond the pure black. But nevertheless, there's definitely a good amount of stuff here to check out. So right in front of us is this like dilapidated castle or fort, and then some kind of a site over there. Good times. Good times. Everyone's burned to cinders, put to the torch by Mesmer in his lot. Okay. What did we do to deserve such a fate? We merely lived our lives, we lived in peace. Fascinating. So now you got a seeming antagonist, Mesmer. So maybe that's the motivation for the like collapse of this world. Mikkalo is trying to create like his version of the lands between. Maybe that was, better. Perhaps still following the greater will with the Erd Tree, an attempt at creating an Erd Tree. We'll see about that little detail. But now Mesmer is shown as like a potential antagonist, someone who messed this all up. I'm sure you just repeat that. Yeah. Ooh, spirit ashes. I don't want to use them yet, and I didn't get any new ones anyway. Okay, so there's a bunch of these easy guys. Scorched ruins. So they approach you slowly. And then, like, if they make contact, they'll make good damage. If you were probably, like, appropriately leveled, there would be a big risk to this. Because if they are able to, like, catch up to you, they probably get you close to death. Whereas for me, like, that risk isn't there. But so be it. Like, I don't want to over-optimize everything. Like, I just want to play the game. So, these figurines are interesting. A stake in the ground with, like, a bone? A couple bones? Very curious as to what that's about. I may have aggroed them. I have. So they get aggroed. Yeah, exactly. Like, they get aggroed quite a bit of distance. Maybe. So it gives you a lot of time to, like, move around and avoid them or position them. But if you fail at that, you'll get punished by their, like, bigger hits. It's a very cool aesthetic, though, like this creepy shadow guy coming after me. This guy is just trying to pray. Sorry. As the Dark Souls games have established, the character, the main character, the player character, hefty crackpot. I'll take a look at that in a second. But I think someone is walking towards me. Nope, that was me, I guess. The player character is not, a force for good. And in many cases, some form of death might be preferable to whatever they're dealing with. Alright, other players. Some items over there. So I want to stop this stream at about an hour into it to watch Copa America, the US game. And also to try and keep my streams a bit tidy. So I think in this hour, I'm getting started with the DLC. The big takeaway for me is to make a decision is if I want to try coming in with my lower level character who is also in New Game Plus, so as to try and be a bit more reasonably leveled for the DLC, because I get the strong suspicion, having only faced one enemy, obviously the common map easy enemy, I get the suspicion even from them that I'm a higher level than expected. Of course, I've also got fully upgraded stuff. Hey, it took me 2 hits. How about that? At least something did. That is really pretty. This is my type of scenery. You got the ghostly grave sites, and then layers of shadowed hills leading back to cliffs with trees on them. Aha! So that thing I saw was an enemy. All right. Let's see if you're any stronger. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm probably overleveled. That probably is supposed to be a more punishing encounter where you gotta be precise and all that. Ooh. Glowworms? Wild. Hey, that's that symbol again. I guess I can find out what drop you have. Come on. Oops. Yeah, they do pack more of a punch, so... I'm still obviously over leveled. Because you know, the classic FromSoft experience is like these have to have a challenge to them. Like if you remember starting Elden Ring from the very beginning, like even just the Godric soldiers at the beginning, like if you were Cavalier, like if you were just hack and slash fighting them, like they could mess. Hold on a sec. They could mess you up easily. Nice. That's my first death. I kind of leaned into it. I wasn't really fighting for self-preservation there. Like I had, you know, plenty of opportunities to back off and heal. But his slight stutter before he does the Talon attack, you know, threw me off on the dodge, and then I was just like, okay, lead into that death. The Lost Runes seem the same. So that lightning didn't do too much damage. Now, I'm a strength build, not a faith build. I wouldn't have expected it to do much damage. All my damage is going to come from strength. Now, Marika's hammer also grants me some holy damage. Who knows if that's a factor. I just like using it, though. And I got no qualms about it for the DLC. Like, it's an endgame item that you know, get after beating the final boss from the Remembrance. And so, by definition, like, it's a weapon intended to be used in New Game Plus. And a lot of those Remembrance weapons have some, like, mechanics that are just, like, overpowering for, like, first-time playthroughs. Like, it's fun having the Waves of Gold and Blasphemous Blade, if you're familiar with like the game and the enemies. But if you just like started the game with something like that and you just were able to wipe out groups of enemies with like those attacks, I mean, I have no qualms with anyone doing it, but just like from the point of view of like not knowing what to expect and being surprised and having to face each enemy and like kind of get to know their moveset, they might not be the most appropriate weapons to use. It's more like if you just want to make progress quickly because you already know what's coming, then go ahead and use those. Marika's hammer, like the special attack, I haven't used it yet, but it might be a bit overpowered as is my character. Why is it always mushroom? Indeed. Alright, I didn't take like much of a look at these arches. So we're at a gravesite and you got like mausoleum type stuff. And you got petrified versions of those birds that I fought. So that's interesting. The same burial casket. So that might be for like the elite or something. They get a casket. But there's a lot of people buried here. Buried as a result. And like, why, right? Like, there weren't... Actually, you know what? I lied. I'm wrong. There were, like, burial sites in the lands between. There were lots of graveyards with headstones. Oh, two of them. Come on. I missed. I like the sound that my hammer makes when making contact with them. It seems a little different. So like a heftier thud. Yeah, and I got potion replenishment just for killing two of them. So that's supposed to be like a bigger challenge where you might waste like all of your health potions dealing with them. So there's that effigy again. That symbol. Okay, so that building, that mausoleum, is probably a dungeon or something. I haven't encountered any cave entrances yet. Do you drop anything? You do. Thin beast bones. Usual stuff. Alright, you seem like a corner in which something could happen. Very much so. I hear some bells. Hey, buddy. Oh, hello there. Yeah, like, they're a, you know, like, reasonably tough enemy. But if I just kill one and get potion replenishment, then they should be posing me a greater challenge than what I just experienced, which is like, yeah, I wasn't perfect with my attacks and got hit a few times, but that probably should have killed me if I was reasonably leveled. Ooh, a summoning effigy. Yeah! Oh, and those glowworms are targetable. Oh, sweet. This is great. I think I'm going to do co-op, like, right away. Unlike when I played the base game. My first Souls experience, like, I didn't really understand anything. And if I had recorded it, oh, it would have been a sight to see. Just, I had no knowledge of any of the mechanics. Like, my previous experience with RPGs kind of worked against me. I'll talk about it more later. But, you know, now I know what's going on. And one of the things in my first playthrough, I was like, all right, I just kind of want to experience it, like, on my own. And then once I, like, you know, beat it or get a handle on it, I'll start doing multiplayer. And I thought that was a good idea, but then, like, once I got into the multiplayer, I realized they don't intend for you to play that way. Because of the way they match you with players by level, and the way these effigies unlock multiplayer areas. In fact, they definitely intend for you to do co-op and PvP and all that while you're going through, like, the entire time. And I did that with my second character, which is this character that I have now, on the other playthrough. And it was a ton of fun. Like, there are a couple nuances, like you might get exposed to things through co-op, that before you, like, experience them in your solo game. Yeah, big deal. Like, that's part of the fun. Alright, I'm going to approach one of these glowworms and see what happens. Okay, I kind of suspected that. Terrifying. So it's a lot like those, I don't remember the name of them, those ruin fragment ball things around the Everjails. And also jellyfish, where they're targetable, but they're not aggressive unless you attack them. And, like, do I want to attack him? So this guy is. And then what's happening? Oh, he died! Well, that gives me an idea. Okay, well, let's find out. Oh god, all of them. Oh god. Terrifying. Oh my god. They all became aggressive. Yeah, much like the jellyfish. Oh, but they go back to being passive. I suppose if you're sufficiently far from them, and if you go back up, they're not aggressive anymore. So it's like, you can do it, and then back away, and then... Really freaky, too. Super cool. I love this. I love this spit attack. Oh, that is fun. And they dropped an item. Ooh, great glowwort. Jeez. I mean, if I needed to level up my spirits, my spirit ashes, I might consider farming these guys. But I'm not in any need of them. So the fact that I'm not being matched with anyone for this boss honestly, like, tells me that I might be over leveled. Like, just the base game was super active. Keep moving. Guard counter, you say? Well, we're gonna do it. Let's do it right. Cool. You pack a punch. Yep. Did not want to get hit by that. Nice! So this is kind of like an Everjail. Alright. Four-piece move. Oh boy. Nice! Alright, that wasn't Blackjail Knight, so this is like a... Yeah, I was right. This is a very much an Everjail concept. Looks to be like an enemy you're fighting in spirit in some way. Whereas like the Everjail, you entered the Everjail and you fought them. Here, they're like in the mausoleum in a spirit form, and you fight like their spirit. But the other similarity was I noticed there wasn't the sign for being able to use spirit ashes, much like Everjail. So it's kind of like a one-on-one battle, which is cool. And it definitely was a good fight. Like the crossbow, you got to keep your distance and move to avoid being hit, otherwise you're done. And then if you come in close, he's got a few patterns. He's got like a one swing, a two swing, a three swing, a four swing. So you got to watch out for what the combo is. And then there's also that like blasphemous blade type range-ish attack. So some good stuff there. And I guess I'll try one more time. Oh, all my runes. I don't care. I have 2 overleveled. But I will try one more time, and then I might end the stream, and we can pick up here with this guy. Oh, I forgot to do all my thingies. Oh, got to move out of the way. So you get him started on this. Back away. Right. Cool. I like his design because like there's a threat when you're far away from him that's like not too hard to avoid, and it lures you in, and it's a good opportunity to get a hit in for sure. But then once you're close range, then he's got a bunch of moves he can pull on you and punish you, and they punish you for retreating, like what I was doing, rolling backwards. I think you want to roll into his attacks and to the side, and then just mind the combos, because if you retreat, he can close distance really quickly, and he can pull out that like that what's the word for it? That like ranged swing. So that's some nice combat mechanics, especially for like a first ever jail. Kind of reminding you of like some of the stuff you probably encountered in your Elden Ring core playthrough, and maybe you were rusty when starting up the DLC. And this is kind of reminding you of like the challenge of FromSoft games, where like you got to pay attention to the enemy moveset. And so it's like just punishing enough and carefully constructed enough to force you to notice. And even though I was talking about how overpowered I am, like it's gonna take me like a dozen hits to defeat that guy. Now, another thing FromSoft likes to do is throw enemies early on that you have to basically go, okay, this is too tough, I'll come back. This is not too tough for me, and that might be because I'm over leveled. But in any case, a good challenge, and I will continue this challenge on my next playthrough. And I have to quit the game to end my stream, so I'll talk as I do that. Let's do return to desktop. But it's a huge thrill to like get new Elden Ring content, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm very excited to play more. Till next time.